Love it. All right, we're going to Colorado. We're going to Keegan. Keegan Lamar.
Hey, what's happening? Hi, Heather. It's very nice to meet you. Scott, thanks for having me here. The first question I have, number one, is Heather, I have a podcast called Unstoppable Mindset, where it's about people sharing their journeys, overcoming challenges, and helping other people be able to do that and do some mindset discovery for themselves. I'd love to have you on sometime. Can we make it happen?
I love that you just did that. First of all, yes, the answer is yes, only because you're asking me publicly like this, because otherwise I would say no. I'm just going to be honest. But I love that you were so ballsy to do that. And I was just as ballsy as you are. I had Gary Vaynerchuk on my podcast. And at the end of the podcast, I said, Gary, before I let you go, I've got to ask you, while we're on camera, do you think your audience could benefit from hearing from a single mom that just got fired, how she bounced back and turned things around for herself and how they can do the same? He's like, yeah, I'm sure they could, Heather. I said, great. Can you have me on your show then? And he's like, I absolutely will. Yeah. So I'm happy to do it. And I love and respect that you go for the close. Totally.
I love it. Thank you so much. I have 202, so we can talk all about parenting.
All right, let's do it.
My second question is about mindset. So what was the biggest shift that you had to overcome when you were first starting to get into something scary, the gray area of speaking? What was the biggest mindset shift that you went from, and what kind of tips and tools did you use personally to be able to make that shift?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I don't even know what the one thing I could point to. I guess at some point along this journey, I started realizing the more I step into fear, the more I see fear as a green light that means go and go faster, the more success and opportunity I create. And I had never lived that way prior to this, right? I lived that if you feel fear, pull back, right? I was in corporate America. Oh, that's a little out of our comfort zone. Ooh, dial that back. That's not good. Let's stay in our comfort zone. So I was doing a complete opposite of what I had done for 20 years. And it felt incredibly uncomfortable. I learned somewhere along the last couple of years that getting uncomfortable or unfamiliar, being in an unfamiliar place, that's the key. That's the answer. So be scared of not feeling scared. Be scared of not being in unfamiliar territory. If I had been living like this my whole life, I'd be the flipping president of the United States right now. And I'm not going to get into what I think of the president, but clearly we haven't had the greatest candidates in the world in the past election, in my opinion. So I wish that I had really been leaning into the fear. I wish I had been putting myself out there and stepping into unfamiliar. And just think to yourself, instead of focusing so much on, I'm afraid to take that stage, I'm afraid to go for this, I'm afraid not to. I'm afraid to show up exactly like I am today, next year. That to me is death. That to me is truly frightening. And so I continue to live my life every day. Fear is a green light. That means go and go faster. And anytime I get scared, for me now, I look back to my TEDx talk. I was so petrified walking out into that stage. I almost didn't get myself out on the stage. Literally, I almost didn't go. And anytime I feel really scared now, I Google Heather Monahan TED Talk because it shows up as a TED Talk. And I didn't know that was going to happen. And I click play and I watch and I see myself in the first minute. I'm like, I'm a zombie. And then I come to and I realize I was petrified and I still figured it out. Like whatever that next challenge is, I can do this one too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Look forward to talking soon.
Okay, me too. Thanks, Keegan.